Out here, in the heart of Black Pines National Forest, the trees aren't the only ones watching you. I've been a ranger for 17 years, and I swore I'd never tell anyone what I saw that winter night, but I can't live with it anymore. My name is Ranger Michael Carter. For most of my life, the forest was my sanctuary. The scent of pine after rain, the crisp mountain air, the stillness of winter nights. But the woods have secrets, and once you stumble into them, you don't come back the same. I was stationed at Black Pines National Forest in Montana. The park stretches for miles, dense woods, hidden lakes, and trails barely anyone uses. Every ranger hears the stories. Hikers vanishing, strange lights moving through the tree line, screams that echo after midnight. Most of us laugh it off. I used to too, until the winter of 2019. It was a bitter January evening. The sky bruised purple as the sun sank behind the ridges. Snow covered the trails, turning the whole forest into a maze of silent white corridors. I was at the ranger station, finishing paperwork, when the radio crackled. Unit 4, we've got a distress call from Tower 9. Report of, something moving near the perimeter fence. Your closest. Tower 9 was an old fire watchtower, abandoned for years after budget cuts. The call didn't make sense. There shouldn't have been anyone up there. I grabbed my flashlight, rifle and snow boots, and headed out on the snowmobile. As I rode through the dark woods, snowflakes whipped past my goggles like shards of glass. By the time I reached the old trail to Tower 9, the path was nearly buried under fresh snow. The watchtower loomed above the pines, skeletal against the moonlight. Its wooden stairs creaked under my weight as I climbed. Inside, the air smelled of rot and old smoke. The radio on the dusty desk hissed faintly, though there was no power. That's when I noticed the footprints, bare footprints, in the snow-covered floorboards. They led to the far corner, where an old trapdoor gaped open, leading into the crawl space beneath the tower. I knelt, shining my flashlight into the darkness below. Something moved, a blur of pale skin sliding out of sight, deeper into the ground. I descended carefully into the crawl space, heart pounding. The air was damp and smelled like earth and decay. Somewhere in the darkness ahead, a voice whispered, not loud enough to make out words, just the hiss of breath, greater than leave. I froze. Hello, this is Ranger Carter. If you're injured, I can help. No answer, just the sound of something scraping against the frozen soil. Then my flashlight flickered and went out. In the pitch black, I heard it, the sound of nails dragging across wood. Inching closer, I scrambled back up the ladder, slammed the trapdoor shut, and bolted down the tower steps into the snow. The unmarked cabin. On my way back, I spotted a faint glow through the trees. Firelight. No cabins were supposed to be in that section of the forest. Curiosity got the better of me. I trekked toward the light until I found a small log cabin, unmarked on any of our maps. Smoke curled from its chimney, though the place looked as if it hadn't been touched in decades. The door creaked open at my touch. Inside, the fire crackled in a stone hearth, but there was no one there. On the walls hung photographs, dozens of them, all of rangers from Black Pines across decades. Some were smiling in their uniforms, but their eyes were blacked out with charcoal. On the table lay a journal. Its first entry was dated 1894. The last one was dated just a day before my arrival. Greater than, it doesn't like the light. It takes one of us every winter. Tonight, it's coming for the man in the tower. The words made my stomach drop. The hunt begins. Suddenly, a loud crack split the silence outside. A tree snapping. I peered out the window and saw a tall, shadowy figure standing just beyond the firelight's reach. It was wrong. Too tall, too thin. Its head tilted at an unnatural angle. When it moved, it didn't walk. It glided. I fired a warning shot. The sound echoed, but the figure didn't flinch. Instead, it let out a long, low scream that vibrated in my chest. The lantern in the cabin sputtered out. I was left in darkness, except for two faintly glowing shapes, eyes red and far apart, peering through the window. The escape. I bolted out the back door into the snow, heart hammering. Branches whipped my face As I ran toward the snowmobile, behind me I could hear it following, the crunch of snow, then silence, then crunch again, as if it was appearing closer each time I looked back. I made it to the snowmobile, started the engine, and sped off down the frozen trail. The whole way back, I felt it keeping pace, just beyond the tree line. The ranger's secret. Back at the station, I locked the doors and called for backup. But when the others arrived at dawn, the footprints outside the tower were gone. The unmarked cabin was gone too, as if it had never existed. No one believed me, but a month later, another ranger, Eli Thompson, disappeared during a routine patrol near Tower 9. We never found him. The final entry. I still work at Black Pines, but I refuse to patrol near the old watchtower. Some nights, the radios crackle with static, and a faint voice whispers, "Room for one more." Down in the dark. I haven't told this to anyone until now, because sometimes, late at night, I see the tall figure at the edge of the tree line, watching, and I know one winter soon, it'll come back for me. Forest rangers are trained to survive anything. Storms, wild animals, even getting lost. But nothing prepared me for what I saw in the woods that night, and it's haunted me for every winter since.